What's up guys, my name is Eric aka AzraelEternity, and welcome to another Redstone tutorial. This is more of an update video to our discussion about using jukeboxes, comparators, and music discs in order to create a locking system based on which music disc you're using. Now the circuit directly in front of you is the one that we had used for that tutorial. If you guys haven't seen the tutorial, you can click the annotation on the screen now in order to jump over to that video, but I'll explain it here. It is simply 2 redstone torches, 2 redstone dust, a block, and a repeater coming off of this line of redstone that is being output from the jukebox using the comparator. Now, a jukebox outputs a certain signal depending on which music disc you're using. If you use music disc 13, it only puts out a signal of 1, which actually gives us our output here. However, if you use music disc, what is this one? Strad, it gets you an output of 9, which gives you an output over here. But even though all of this other redstone dust is all lit, no other outputs, just that one. How it works is that when we put out an output of 1, it creates a redstone signal here, depowering this torch. This dust becomes turned off, allowing this torch to turn on. If we have a signal strength longer than that, it powers this repeater, which turns on the redstone dust and unpowers the redstone torch. Now, I had said in the video that King of Defunct would of course come up with a tileable version, which he did do. This is that design. It is tileable. It does still all have to alternate sides, but you can still get outputs from each individual disk consecutively. You just have to alternate the sides. Now, there's a couple of problems that I had with this design that we'll address later. One, it does have a fairly large footprint, even if you're just alternating disks on one side. Two, it's very resource intensive. It has a lot of repeaters, but it still does get the job done. Three, it has to alternate sides, which also increases the footprint size. So if you want to use all 12 disks to do 12 different functions, it's going to take up a big chunk of real estate. Knowing this, Grave went back to the drawing board and created this version 2.0 of his output array using music disks. So if we put in a certain music disc, let's say we're going to use the signal strength of 1, it'll give us an output at 1. If we use 4, it'll give us an output at 4. If we use at 8, we'll get a signal at 8 and 9. So each of these works individually and they don't interfere with each other. And it's a very small design, 4x4x1 for each individual unit. So total space of 4x4x12, not including the redstone dust from the comparator. If we use that, it takes up a little bit more space. But the actual outputs itself, 4x4x1 for each individual output without interfering with each other. So you now have 12 different locks that you can use all 12 disks for in order to create a locking system. Alright guys, for the tutorial part of this video, I'm going to show you how to build the entire array that is 12 long. You can cut it down to size however you feel, but this video is going to show you how to build the entire array. So first things first, we have our jukebox, our comparator, and 12 redstone dust all on the line. On one side of the redstone dust, we're going to dig 2 trenches, 1 deep. In this first trench, we're going to put repeaters with no delay, just the regular standard. On top of it, we're going to have repeaters with an extra tick of delay. The reason we have this extra tick is so that outputs beyond the one that we want, when they have the music disc pulled out, they don't cause a block update and they don't cause a 1-tick pulse to the rest of the outputs. On the front of this block in the other trench, we're going to have redstone torches. Now on top of the redstone torches, we're going to have more more blocks, and we're going to put torches on the fronts of those. They should all burn out because we have redstone torches below them. Alright, on top of these repeaters, shift so that you can place it, and just place blocks on top of all of the repeaters. Oops, we changed the delay on there. There we go. And then on top of this block, we're going to put redstone dust. And that's it. That's our array. Each of these torches is now an output for our array. So we'll go ahead and put down some redstone lamps to show off which output we're using. Let me go ahead and grab a couple music discs to demonstrate. One, 5, what is that? 7, 8, 9, and 13, or 12. I get my numbers wrong. So as you guys can see, very easy to build, very limited resources. We're using one less redstone dust and one more repeater than we were in the previous video, and using, what, another block for each? So hardly resource intensive. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. If you didn't check out the original tutorial, like I said, video annotation is going to be on the screen now. Thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.